Our reading is taken from Matthew 22, verses 34 to 40. The greatest commandment. Hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, the Pharisees got together. One of them, an expert in the law, tested him with this question: "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your minds. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbour as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your souls and with all your mind. This is the greatest commandment and is key to the Lord's mission. Our actions towards our neighbour is an expression of our love for God, as we are invited to see Christ present in the other. Loving your neighbour as yourself. Well, that's interesting. The latter is open to so many interpretations. Self-love can be misconstrued, selfish, individualistic, and the list could go on. However, if we are to love our neighbour as God desires, and we are called to love ourselves in the same way, for Christ is present in us, what does that say about our need for self-care and compassion? The fact that Jesus, in almost the same breath, says we are to love God and love our neighbour means that one love is not greater than the other. They are interdependent. By loving God, we love our neighbour. By loving our neighbour, we love God. When the Dalai Lama was asked to comment on the instruction, "Love your neighbour as yourself," he commented, "Poor neighbour." We too often forget the modifying phrase in Jesus' instruction, "Lord, help me to be merciful to myself so that I can be merciful to others. Help me to love myself as much as you love me." Not only are these two commandments similar, they are complementary and inseparable. In other words, it's not possible to love God and not love the neighbour, and vice versa. Jesus is saying that as long as we truly love God and our neighbour, the rest of the law will take care of itself. And there may be even times when such law will transcend and override the requirements of some laws. No truly loving act can ever be sinful. The greatest and first commandment is challenging. Do I really believe in God and love God? God's love shines on me like the sun shines on earth. Nothing I could do could make God love me more. In this continual relationship with the mystery of God's love, I know my doubts, and I can only say, "Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief." The second commandment is easier to grasp and harder to follow. Love your neighbour as yourself. God is visible through my neighbour. I can ponder on my love for others, those close to me, and I can ponder on my attitude towards every stranger around the world who is my sister and brother. Here at Shadwell Methodist Church, at our coffee mornings and our cafe mornings, we invite all the village to come. And as we welcome those we know, we also welcome those we are yet to come to know. I wonder, what does loving your neighbour mean for you today?